try to give myself grace. Everybody says give yourself grace. It's so hard for me to do that. At the end of the day, it's my fault, and I let everybody down.
Brittney Griner in tears, Aaliyah Boston lifting her teammates, and the Indiana Fever storming into the semifinals for the first time since 2015. No one expected this. Not with 6 players injured, not without Caitlin Clark, but somehow, Indiana flipped the narrative, and in the process, exposed just how far Griner has fallen. Was this simply one bad series, or are we witnessing the end of her reign as a dominant WNBA center?
And Mitchell's been quiet for a while, not anymore. Wood in Canada with another assist. A big bounce back night for her. Mitchell dribbles behind the line to take the 3. Howard with the one-handed rebound and putback.
Let's start with the facts. 6 players gone. That's how many the Fever were missing when they walked into a winner-take-all Game 3 in Atlanta. Caitlin Clark, out. Sophie Cunningham, Sydney Colson, Chloe BBY, Ari McDonald, Damiris Dantas, all sidelined. Nearly half of Stephanie White's rotation was in street clothes. And yet it's Indiana, not Atlanta. Moving on.
Talked about the desperation before Game 2 on Tuesday. Just how does that carry over into tonight?
Well, I think anytime that you're a win or go home situation, there's desperation. And so it has to carry over. You know, we're in the same situation. Our back is against the wall. We got to come out and we've got to play with that sense of urgency. We've got to play with that hunger. We've got to value every single possession and every single opportunity.
Think about that. The last time the Fever won a playoff series, Tamika Catchings was still carrying the franchise, Stephanie White was guiding them to the finals, and Natasha Howard was a rookie. Since then, nearly a decade of rebuilding, false starts, and early playoff exits. But on Friday night, the script flipped. Analysts had written them off. Without Clark's shooting, Cunningham's fire, or the depth to match Atlanta, it was supposed to be over. Instead, Indiana looked like the healthier, hungrier team.
We've just been through so much this season, giving ourselves another chance in Game 3. Emotions are high.
This is a group that's confidence has really never wavered. This group has continued to show their heart, their character, night in and night out.
I think we all piggyback off each other within our group and in our organization.
We've been in every kind of situation you can imagine, and we've been able to find ways to put ourselves in position to win, and this will be no different.
Somebody has to lose and somebody has to win.
Inside Gateway Center Arena, the atmosphere didn't feel like a true home game for the Dream. Fever fans traveled in numbers, and by the second half, their voices were louder than Atlanta's own crowd. Every big Indiana bucket sounded like it came in Indianapolis. And that energy mattered. Even the injured stars played a role. Clark never stopped cheering from the bench. Cunningham turned into an assistant coach. BBY was in every huddle. The Fever had a 6th man, just not on the floor.
Indiana Fever are heading to the semifinals.
Driving to the foul line and the paint, lays it in. Sims crossover left to right, gets into the paint, layup, good!
Inside, Boston.
For the roster actually on the court, this wasn't just another playoff win. This was validation. Aaliyah Boston's first postseason series win. Kelsey Mitchell's first. Lexi Hull's first. Each of them had grinded through years of losing seasons or tough rotations. Now, they were the ones finishing the job. They didn't get distracted by the officiating chaos that marred the first 2 games, missed whistles, late calls, frustration everywhere. Instead, they focused, shut the door, and ended Atlanta's season.
To Jones, throws it up.
No good! Game over! And the Fever are moving on!
But the defining storyline wasn't the scoreboard. It was the duel inside. Aaliyah Boston versus Brittney Griner. For years, Griner was the face of playoff basketball in the paint, a force who could control games with rim protection, hook shots, and sheer size. But in this series, especially Game 3, she wasn't even trusted to close. That alone sent shockwaves.
Alicia just 4 of 16 from the floor in Game 2. That's terrific call into Boston. Beautiful.
Griner made her career overpowering opponents. Her size, length, and instincts once made her unstoppable, piling up double-doubles almost effortlessly. But against Indiana, none of that showed. Her offense sputtered, her rotations lagged, and her defensive presence turned into a liability instead of a safety net. On the other side, Boston was everything Griner used to be. Boston's Game 3 line, 14 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, only scratches the surface. What mattered was when those plays came. With less than 10 seconds on the clock, Boston sealed deep position, muscled up a go-ahead layup, and left Atlanta searching for answers. That moment didn't just win the game, it flipped Griner's highlight reel upside down.
Atlanta has not been good. 40%. Maybe a little higher than that, 45.
Indiana electing not to call a timeout. Boston almost gave it away. Into Boston for the lead. She hits it. Indiana goes up.
Boston gets it. Mitchell is denied, but then Jordan Canada falls. Bree Jones almost gets it, but that's a second defender that's gone down, and Bree Jones.
Defensively, Boston's approach was textbook. She didn't gamble for blocks or chase the big moment. She angled her body, forced Griner into uncomfortable spots, and stayed disciplined on every post touch. Shots that were automatic for Griner in her prime rimmed out. By the third quarter, the frustration was written all over her face. Boston didn't just beat her with talent, she erased her comfort zone. The numbers underline the shift. In her prime, Griner's playoff stat lines were reliable double digits with heavy minutes and efficiency. In this series, career lows. 2 points, 2 rebounds in one game, and long stretches on the bench when her team needed her most. Boston, meanwhile, filled the box score on both ends and even orchestrated offense with her passing. The contrast couldn't have been clearer.
I don't think I really gotten through all the way. That I didn't let down, everybody in my family, and it was just. I think I'm still trying to get through that part.
Still to this day.
I try to give myself grace. Everybody says give yourself grace. It's so hard for me to do that. At the end of the day, it's my fault, and I let everybody down.
Which leaves the question, is Brittney Griner still a dominant center? Being benched in an elimination game speaks louder than any stat. It suggests not just a bad night, but a loss of trust. Maybe she's slowing down, maybe retirement isn't far away, or maybe she simply ran into the next great post anchor, the future of the position, and couldn't match it. Whatever the case, while Griner sat quietly on the sideline, Boston claimed the spotlight that once belonged to her. It felt less like a single win and more like a passing of the torch, but Indiana's story wasn't just about Boston. To knock out Atlanta, they needed everyone. Mitchell attacking downhill, Hull making hustle plays that swung possessions, Sims controlling the pace, role players stepping in exactly when their number was called. This wasn't a one-star performance, it was survival by committee. Think about it, the Fever lost 6 rotation players this season. That's not just depth gone, that's entire game plans torn apart. And yet, in their biggest moment, they pieced together one of their most complete team wins of the year. No Caitlin Clark, no full bench, just veterans, leaders, and teammates refusing to let their season end.
That's it for today's video. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.